Hello and welcome. This is an informational training module brought to you by the Maine Department of Education Assessment Team. Today's topic is Assessment Technical Assistance, which is scheduled to take place February through June 2025 across each of the Maine Educational Assessments. It is the mission and vision of the Maine Department of Education to promote the best learning opportunities for all Maine students by providing information, guidance, and support to our schools, educators, and leaders, and by providing adequate and equitable school funding and resources. Where does the work of the assessment team fit into this vision? At the center of our work is to provide high-quality technical assistance to Maine SAUs and schools around the state assessments, from before the administration window opens through to the interpretation of results data. Technical assistance supports Maine School Administrative Units, or SAUs, with areas of challenge while also highlighting and sharing areas of excellence. Through collaborative partnerships, the Maine DOE and SAUs can work together to improve the opportunity for all students to demonstrate what they know and can do in relation to grade level content on the Maine Educational Assessments. On this team, we have several assessment coordinators that oversee the programs, which include Maine Through Year, Maine Science, Access, the Multi-State Alternate Assessment, and the National Assessment of Educational Progress, better known as NAEP. The Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015, better known as ESSA, includes the expectation that the state will review assessment administration practices routinely with the goal of a valid, reliable, and secure administration. Towards this end, the Maine DOE assessment team travels across the state throughout administration windows, supporting SAUs and observing how Maine students are interacting with these assessments. The Technical Assistance Plan includes 3 levels of support. This plan was first created and introduced during the 2021-2022 school year, based on feedback from USED around additional and necessary assessment monitoring practices. Level 1 of technical assistance is by request. Any Maine SAU can request technical assistance based on local need. The team has facilitated virtual and in-person sessions around the state on many different assessment topics, from logging into the platform to utilizing the data to inform planning. We welcome the opportunity to support SAUs and increase assessment literacy with those we serve in the field. Level 3 of technical assistance is the most scaffolded level of support. Maine SAUs can be selected for Level 3 technical assistance for reasons such as low participation rates or issues with assessment security. Level 3 includes an action planning process with the appropriate DOE coordinator, as well as an in-person visit during the administration window. With all levels of technical assistance, it's important to know that the assessment team approaches this work from the place of support and service, and we are focused on giving the SAU what it needs to have a successful, valid, and reliable administration of state assessments for all Maine students. The remainder of this module will focus on Level 2 of technical assistance. Level 2 is based on a random 10-year cycle and is designed to collect student assessment data from all parts of Maine. At Level 2, district assessment coordinators in the randomly selected districts are asked to conduct local observations of assessment administration using the observation checklist tool provided by Maine DOE. Here is the process for Level 2 of technical assistance. First, in early February, the Maine DOE assessment team will contact the randomly selected SAUs District Assessment Coordinator, which we find identified in the NEO public database. The District Assessment Coordinator and any applicable school assessment coordinators will review this asynchronous training information module provided by Maine DOE. The Maine DOE assessment team will work with the District Assessment Coordinator to verify that all local coordinators and administrators have completed the necessary trainings for their relevant assessments. It is the responsibility of the assessment coordinator to ensure that this takes place prior to the administration of any of the Maine educational assessments. During the administration window, the district assessment coordinator, as well as any applicable local personnel, will conduct local observations of assessment across Maine educational assessments and submit notes via the online observation checklist tool. When possible, a Maine DOE assessment team member may reach out about the opportunity to join the district assessment coordinator on an in-person observation. Following the administration window, the Maine DOE assessment team may need to connect back with the local SAU leadership to provide and receive feedback on the process, as well as to answer any questions. In a larger sense, the team will be utilizing this data collected from across the state to inform how Maine students and Maine educators are interacting with these assessments. When we think about the Maine educational assessments, frequently the first that come to mind are the Maine 3-year or the Maine Science, which are our state's general assessments in English language arts, math, and science. However, we also have the alternate assessment, as well as English language proficiency assessments. We're asking district assessment coordinators to make the effort to observe at least 2 types of assessments being administered this school year.
In these next few moments, we'll provide a high-level overview of our assessment observation checklist tool. This is the same tool used by the Maine DOE assessment team when conducting in-person observations of the administration of the state assessments. The checklists are provided as tools to support the consistent administration of the assessment and in some cases provide additional information to assist with gauging the assessment experience of the student. The Assessment Administration Observation Checklist tool is linked in this slide for your reference. After completing this module, if you have additional questions about the tool or would like a demonstration, you're welcome to attend the drop-in office hours that will be scheduled for Level 2 technical assistance. Every year, we learn more about how Maine students are experiencing state assessments and where we need to improve. Data from these locally conducted observations will be triangulated in order to plan for the upcoming school years. We thank you all in advance for your participation in conducting these observations. The screenshots are from our most basic version of the online tool. The first section collects basic information. As you can see in the screenshot, it's the school name, assessment administrator, observer, date of observation, the proctor or TA, the assessment, and the grade and subject. As noted, the form is assessment dependent and may contain some different details depending upon which assessment is being administered. The first section of the observation checklist takes into account the environmental considerations of the area in which the assessment is being administered. For example, item 1 reads, Instructional materials that may provide clues or answers are not visible in the room. Using the codes below, one could quickly record the number in the appropriate box in that row and make any additional observations in the comments box. Item 4 reads, electronic devices were collected or otherwise stored away and unavailable for student use. Here you might record where a student had a cell phone in their pocket and forgot, or if there is another abuse with a cell phone, such as using it for music or other situations that do arise. Um, Additionally, item 6 states students worked independently of each other. That's an important consideration for assessment security as well as for providing an accurate measure of student performance. Another observation is item 14. The assessment room was supervised at all times. It's another important consideration for assessment security as well as for the accuracy of student results, right? Please make note of all of these and provide as much information as possible. To expedite our review of the observation checklist, we have provided several of the items that appear in the next section. Please note that in the paper version as well as the online version, there are answers for you to select and boxes for you to add additional notes if applicable. The items we're asking you to observe for are whether it's the TA's first time administering the assessment, their level of confidence. We want you to ask if they feel that they've had sufficient training and support to administer the assessment. We want to make note of whether the students were provided an opportunity to participate in a practice session. Were any of the students observed hurrying through the assessment? Or were any of the students observed using the universal tools provided in the assessment? All of this information is taken into account when planning for training and administration for the next or for upcoming years and sessions. I want to highlight a couple of important points related to assessment observation. One is we're asking you to make note of any accommodations. Why do we ask? It's a federal requirement to ensure students receive accommodations when appropriate, and this includes on state assessments. The Maine DOE assessment team does not have access to student IEPs, 504s, or language plans. For this, we need your assistance. You know the students, and you can provide the best information. Also, we ask that when you're providing your feedback, please include any insights you have on specific topics for additional assessment trainings that could be offered by the Maine DOE assessment team, as well as please, including the feedback from those that you observe. Make sure you put this feedback in your notes so that when appropriate we can see it, or that you can refer to it in future if this is for a note for in-house training. To assist you with conducting the observations, we're asking you to follow 3 basic steps. Print the form, review it, and use it as a tool in the area where the assessment's being administered. Okay. When you're done, Access the online form and complete the form using your notes. And third, submit the form to the Maine DOE assessment team. And this occurs automatically at the end of the form when you click submit. If possible, complete multiple observations. The more you do, the better you'll get at doing it, and you'll become more comfortable with the process and what to look for. If you have other people conducting the trainings, for the assessment administration, have them assist with the observations. They're familiar with the procedures. After you've finished with all of your assessment observations, review the forms for areas of excellence as well as areas of needed improvement. Make notes and recommendations for future actions. We've provided some examples on this slide. You are welcome to seek optional feedback from the Maine DOE assessment team. In summary and review, monitoring and observation of the administration of state assessments ensures that standardized test administration procedures are implemented with fidelity across SAUs and schools. Observation of test administration should be conducted for all assessments. Monitoring and observation of test administration ensures that appropriate assessments with or without accommodations are selected for all students with disabilities and our English learners so that they are appropriately included in assessments and receive accommodations that are consistent with state and local policies for accommodations, appropriate for addressing a student's disability or language needs for each assessment administered, consistent with accommodations provided to students during instruction, consistent with assessment accommodations as identified in their student plan, administered with fidelity to test administration procedures. The Maine DOE assessment team provides an observation checklist tool, training, support, and in-person observations when possible. We thank you for your time and assistance in conducting these assessment observations. Should you have any questions or would like some more information, please reach out to a member of the Maine DOE assessment team.